Hi everyone, I'm Jenna Murray from Nicholson Catholic College and you're watching NCC Tech TV. NCC Tech TV is a program created by our video production class covering stories of our school and the local community. Today's episode will include an interview with my fellow reporter Gabby Garrow, a closer look at a local pawn shop, and a special segment showcasing the art program here at Nicholson. To start, here's a clip of me getting to know student and reporter Gabby Garrow by learning about her 3 favorite things. Hi everyone, NCC Tech Jenna Murray here, and today I'll be interviewing Gabby Garrow on her 3 favorite things. So Gabby, would you like to tell us what you brought in today?
Yes, so today I brought in a notebook, my watch, and a Rubik's Cube.
Very nice. So first I'd like to ask you about your notebook. So I was just wondering, where did you get that notebook?
Well, my dad gave it to me for Christmas one year because I had really wanted one like this.
Nice. So what type of things do you write in the notebook?
Normally write things that I need to get done, like I use it almost as an agenda sort of thing, and if I need to write something down, then it's a good place to put it.
Great to be organized. So moving on to your lovely watch there. So how long have you had the watch?
I've had this watch since about grade 7, so a few years now.
So why is this watch significant to you?
Well, just because I had it so long and it's become a part of my daily life, because I have a very bad sense of time. So I use it to keep track of things and make sure I'm staying productive and on time.
Great. So moving on to the most interesting object, the Rubik's Cube. So what made you become interested in solving Rubik's Cubes?
Well, I was at a friend's house one time and they had a Rubik's Cube there, and we just both were curious as to how people do solve them, so we just decided to learn and been solving them ever since.
That's awesome. So what's your fastest record time of solving this Rubik's Cube?
For this Rubik's Cube, my fastest time was about 2 minutes because it is a larger cube, but with the regular 3x3, it's about under 30 seconds.
Wow, that's fast. All right, so thanks, Gabby, for coming in to talk to me. Solving a Rubik's Cube would be a cool skill to have. Now for our next story, Gabby's going to visit the local East End Exchange to learn more about pawn shops and what they have to offer. Over to you, Gabby.
Thanks, Jenna. I'm here at East End Exchange Pawn Shop to ask the owner some questions about pawn shops. Hi everyone, I'm Gabby Garrow from an NCC Tech TV reporter, and I'm here with John Garrow, local pawn shop owner of East End Exchange. How are you today?
Good, thanks, Gabby. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We're going to ask you some questions about pawn shops and the pawn shops in the local area. So, can you explain what pawn shops do and how they work?
Mainly pawn shops offer short-term, small amount loans to people who really can't get loans like through a bank or a credit card. So if you need some cash till the end of the month till you get paid, you could bring in your cell phone or your guitar or your stereo and we'll give you some money towards it, and then you pay us interest and you pay the loan back and you pick it up when you've got the cash.
All right. So how many pawn shops are in this area? Like, how many other ones are there?
3 that I'm aware of. 3 other ones that I'm aware of in Belleville.
Okay. What are the type of things that normally people bring in? Like, what are some of the common items that you see brought in?
Most common things would be like cell phones, tools, musical instruments, jewelry. Those probably the 4 most common things. Then you get the odd stuff coming in too once in a while.
So speaking of that, like, what are some of the odd or unique items that you've had brought in before?
Like for instance, this old violin from the 1920s. all the paperwork, the original receipt from when they purchased it from New York City Academy. That's kind of one of the neat things that's come in here, and I've kept that. The nose cone from Paul Tracy's race car. That's kind of a neat thing that came in here, a little bit of Canadian history. You see team players and players' cigarettes aren't allowed to sponsor any more sporting events anymore, so that's gone. So it's kind of a neat little thing to have. We've had some musical equipment come in, but some of the more interesting ones was this guitar signed by the band from Bon Jovi. We've had people bring in similar ones signed by Rush and Def Leppard. Old money, old currencies. Got Canadian bills going back to the 1800s and U.S. Confederate bills going back to the 1800s. Just some neat stuff that comes in. Kind of stuff you like to keep around here. An old motorcycle up at the front there from 1969. Don't think I want to sell that. It kind of looks good in the window. Brings people in. So just some neat stuff. You get a lot of run-of-the-mill average stuff, but then you get a lot of neat stuff in too. It's kind of a neat business to be in.
Well, thank you very much for giving your time.
You're very welcome.
And back to you, Jenna.
Wow, pawn shops do have a lot of cool things. Now for our next segment, Gabby will interview our art teacher, Mr. Craig, to find out more about the art program here at Nicholson.
Hello everyone, I'm Gabby Garrow, NC Tech TV reporter, back again. I'm here with Nicholson art teacher, Mr. Craig. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
All right, so we're going to ask you some questions about the art program at Nicholson. So, to start, what kind of art styles and art mediums do students learn here?
All the things, all the time, all the best. We do painting, we do printmaking, we do sculpture, soapstone, oils, watercolor, we draw, we use pencil crayons. It really is a little bit of everything. As we progress through the different years, we try out different materials and build on our past knowledges so that success is built into the program. So in grade 9 and 10, I get you to try a lot of things. In grade 11, we take the best parts of those and push them forward. In grade 12, you get to choose what you thought are your strengths from there and really shine with them. So it's a little bit of everything for everyone.
All right. So do you or any of your students ever partake in art shows or art competitions?
Absolutely. There's a big art show coming up in just a few weeks here in Belleville. Every year we participate in it. It's held at the Core Center. It's a themed show and it's a juried show, and we've had great success there before, and it's always a ton of fun, great night out. So yeah, we do that one every year. Myself, I compete in a couple of different things. I'm heading to Chicago this summer with some of my work, and I'll compete in the fall in Toronto again. It's a lot of fun.
All right. And what made you interested in becoming an art teacher?
That's a great question. I had originally thought I wanted to work with kids. I wanted to help people out. I thought maybe psychologist or something like that. And then along the way, I had a history teacher, Jamie Hughes, who was just so mind-blowingly good that I thought, if I could do even, half as good as him at teaching, then, that would be a really amazing thing. He made a difference in a lot of people's lives, and so I just kind of aim for the same kind of thing. And history and art are my two passions, so I'm qualified to teach both, and luckily I get to teach both with the art history component of my courses as well.
Wow. So how many kids normally enroll in the art program a year?
So the program at Nicholson is pretty robust considering how small of a school we are. Each of my classes is usually in the neighborhood of 30 students. Sometimes we cap out at 32. So I'm teaching about 150 to 180 kids a year. So a third to a half of the school kind of thing.
Wow. And then the other question I had was, what made what is important? What makes you think that the art program is important, and why would you encourage other students to take the art class?
I think the ability to do creative lateral thinking is important no matter what discipline you're interested in, and that's something that we really try and foster here in the Nicholson Art Program. Beyond that, I want to create a place where kids can pursue a broad array of interests, and one of the goals is to find artistic things in your everyday life. It doesn't always have to be sketchbook work. So I've got students that are making their own clothes. I've got students who are detailing cars. I've got students that are doing all kinds of different things. And I want them to take credit for those things. And I want them to be able to be supported in aspects of their life that aren't super structured. I want them to find ways to express themselves and to pursue their passions. And I think, again, no matter what you go into, you need to be able to do that. And what's more is sometimes you have to, whether you pursue art as a career or not, you have to have, something else that you enjoy, something passionate in your life, whether that's cooking or something else creative. This course helps foster that part of a person. So I think it's really important for students overall.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers or would like to add?
I like soup. I'm only slightly crooked, so my bribes must be very subtle. Perhaps paid in soup. I'm just saying. No, really, this food bank drive coming up, a big thing in the school. Bring soup to my class. I will make sure it gets to the right place, and that's not my belly.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
And to conclude this episode, we're going to be showcasing some of the amazing art creations done by Nicholson students.
Was some really cool art that Gabby showed us. Thanks for tuning in this week where we got to know Gabby, the local pawn shop East End Exchange, and the art program here at Nicholson. Make sure to tune in next week for another great episode on NCC Tech TV.